clue 4. If you looked at the thumbnail for this one, you got a little bit of the beginning of it. So, because I had to lay it out on the floor, I had to move it from there to the floor so that I can sew with you and show you how to do these last little bits. So I will wait for you and get a couple of things done at the same time. Hang on. The clue 2 still isn't showing on YouTube.
It is on my YouTube.
I know, and it is on my YouTube, but Elaine can't find it. She said that the other ones are there, but it's not. So I'm going to try again to upload that. Hi. Hello. How are you? Good to have you with me. It's getting late for some of you. I'm going to try to be fast. And you know what? I'm going to turn those lights off again. Hey, Elaine. Glenda, hello from Australia. It's a great new year so far. Actually, I'm going to, my granddaughter's practicing the piano. Isn't that sweet? I just love it. But I'm going to close the door so I don't have to try to talk over her. Okay. We have this, hello from Canada. Cold Canada. We are warm New Zealand right now. Just wait a couple more minutes. Thank you, sweetheart. I'll put that behind my sewing machine, I think, and set it up back there. But I need to do it on the floor first so I can show you how to finish it up. All right, if you have the clues, you should know that the reveal is there. You get to see it. Very cold and covered in snow on the West Coast. Woohoo! I need to actually point out what I'm going to do first, and I can't do it with it up there.
Do you want me to hold the phone while you do it? That's what I was asking.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I'm going to spin this around. Hubby's going to help out. Okay, you let me know when they join in. Tell me where they're from. Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Actually, I'm going to walk across the front of him here. I'm going to get the clue 4. I'm going to show you the cutting chart. So I'm coming back to you. I'm going to show you the cutting chart. Okay. I'm going to have you cut some triangles. We're going to cut the squares on both diagonals. We only need 14 of these, but we're going to cut 16 because it was the least fabric way to do it. And bottom ones, these are the 4 corners, and these are our setting triangles. We saw on blue that, hi Glenda, that it was set on point, so you can see her in all of her glory there. A couple of things I want to point out to you are,
Let's go down there and point
right there in the middle. You'll know when you set these 4 blocks out, right, these ones here that we did the spare corner in, we actually want those to sit side by side so that we have this secondary star here in the very center of our quilt. We are going to assemble this on point, so I'm going to show you how we're going to square it out so we don't have zigzags. We're going to take those triangles that we cut. I'm going to work at the top. That'll make it easier, okay? We're going to use these triangles that we cut. The small triangles, those 9 3/8 inch triangles, are going to go in the corner, and that's going to square off all 4 corners. And the big triangles that we need 14 of are going to go in all of our side, top, and bottom little divots. Okay? So that's going to square this off like this. And these are going to go in every one. Like so. Okay, I'm not going to lay all these out. You get the picture. Now I'm going to show you how we're actually going to stitch this together on point. Okay, when I do it, I'm actually going to pick up the top, I guess your left, and the bottom right corners, because they're exactly alike. Everything will meet in the middle that way. And I'm going to stitch the corner to the top. I'm going to stitch these two sides. Hi, boo-boo. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Cappy. I'm going to stitch all these to the sides so that when this is all stitched together, it forms this corner triangle. Okay, so while I get this organized, I'm just going to set you on my tripod, and I'm by the sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch while you do your cutting, and I will meet you back at the sewing machine shortly. It's okay. I'll just go like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it. Okay. Technical difficulties. We just have to sort the camera around. I'll turn on my machine and get her ready to go.
It's harder to tell though when it's like
Don't
this.
you just love that sound? Hang in there. We're almost done. We are by no means a professional outfit here. We try to offer you a professional product, but we have fun doing it. Someone's ready for bed. I saw that. You head to bed. Beautiful. Where's the printout? It should be on the website. It is uploaded. I will double check. I set it to go at 3. Actually, I set it to go at 3 a.m. so it will truly be there.
From now on, you should start them landscape.
I'm so sorry.
That way you can keep it landscape.
Okay, checking celebration quilts. When I check celebration quilts, it is there under celebration quilts. If you click on Attic Stars Clue 4, it should come up for you. And it's going to be the actual layout on page 1 with your cutting instructions for the triangles on page 2. I'm going to get the first stitches of the corner done so you can see play if you need to. Corner, you could see me fold it in half. Yes, Elaine, all the links have been posted on Facebook.
Henry, come on. Bobby.
So that's great. Okay, and this is the small triangle that we're going to put on the end here. And so I finger press the center of the square, okay, and the center of the triangle, and make my little finger presses meet. And we're going to start at one end. You can see there's a little overlap of the triangle there. And at the other end, you can see that overlap down there. You just keep cutting. I'll keep stitching, and we'll get this finished. I'm going to sew with you for quite a while this time, because I don't have mine together. Even though I say I do, I don't have it together yet. So let's get sewing. Just pulling the second corner with a small and a large, 2 large triangles. I'm going to actually set my triangles over here so I can see. what we're doing here. Okay, so other block, this is the bottom corner, this is the top corner, and I'm going to stitch away, but I'm watching the camera at the same time. So if you have questions, just fire away, send them through, and we'll talk about it. Just putting my, whoa, that really shakes badly. Ooh, hang on, I may put you over on the other side on the cutting table so you don't get rattled around. Yeah, you get rattled. Oh my goodness. Don't do that. You fall down. How is that for startling? I'm going to put you right here. Yes, everybody can laugh out loud on that one. Okay, trying to put you back in. I don't know how hubby did this, but I think I got it. Okay, wow. Ooh, love that center star. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, yay, yay, yay. Okay, I'm going to try to make it so that you can see what I'm doing at the sewing machine without getting shaken all over the place. Okay, at the same time. Hang on, technical difficulties. Who's laughing at me? Everybody? Please laugh at me. Laugh with me, because that was hilarious. Okay, there we go. I think we're set up now. I'll just keep going. Picking up where I stopped. Yay! You don't shake over there. Well, that was fun. Clue 4 appears to be under clue 3 on the page, so it is necessary to scroll down. Okay, I have it up on the page. I can post it again. That might help. Or I'll give you a direct link. Copy this up here at the top. And put it in Facebook here. Okay, you should have a, there should be a new link that takes you directly to clue 4. So, yeah, go grab that. Get some cutting done. Get a cup of tea, coffee, Coke, Pepsi. Yeah, we don't drink Pepsi, we drink Coke, but that's neither here nor there. I don't drink, I was just going to say I don't drink, but I do. I drink tea for the most part. And I'm finger right on point, which is the center, so I'm finger pressing that angle of the 2 that we would have cut and stitching that here, making those finger pressings meet whilst watching for your questions and comments. Just sew at your own pace, cut at your own pace. I'm just going to hang out for a while. My sewing machine goes faster, but I'm not making it go very fast right now because it's pretty loud when it goes pretty fast. So from this point, I actually trimmed those points that I showed you earlier. I trimmed those off so it looks more square at the sides. And now I'm going to take this one And there you can see that. I'm going to take the bigger triangles now. And if you can see, the angle stays the same. So I'm just going to lay this on top of here. And I'm going to stitch from the corner down. I try to always stitch from the 90-degree angle, which is, of course, the square angle. I try to always do from that so that my feed dogs don't eat my fabric, as well as it goes under the presser foot a little bit easier for me. Oh, it's just not the first thing you see when you go to the website. You're right, Elaine. You're absolutely right. But I did give you a new link to it, Elaine. Again, couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll show you what this looks like. No finger pressing with this because you just meet it at the angle, at that 90-degree angle, and you stitch down the side. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Actually, the bottom. Well, one's going to be the bottom, one's going to be the top, because it's exactly mirror image to each other. So when we do this, it's going to be mirror image. How cool is that? See, there's my pup. He wants to be in here with his mom. Being lazy. Okay. Almost there. Okay. Now I can show you this first one that came off. The end. So now we have something that looks like this. So now we're actually going to add this square or triangle, pardon me, on the other side. So we're going to have one whopping large triangle. And we're just going to keep going like that. So each row, we're actually sewing each row on the diagonal down instead of straight across. It's exactly the same. You're just going to have a triangle at each end of your set long row. You're stitching rows together just like you would if you were sewing on the straight. Let's get this other one on and I'll show you the huge triangle. Then I'm just going to hang out and sew for a while and we'll sew together. Do this other one so that one will come off and then I'll show you. This is too much fun. I have to say that this quilt involves two of my very favorite things. One, I love an on-point quilt. And two, I love stars. So this is absolutely, and I just went with some vintage fabrics with this, which I loved. I told you about that in the fragments. I love this. And show you how it'll be on a square. There's the top and there's the other angle. Lori, going on point is your favorite as well. Two peas in a pod, aren't we? I think I have a lot of kindred spirits here. Just for the record, Lori has been helping me for a long time as well. So she's my go-to when I need help. So Now we have this very huge, I can't even go back far enough, very huge triangle. We have our corner square here. So this is actually going to lay like this. Actually, that's a lie. It's going to lay like this, but there's no difference. So I'm going to go lay that back on the floor. I'm going to see if I can rotate you around that way. Yay! So you can. Now watch. I'm going to lay that on that top corner. Just like that. And then I'm going to pick up the next row. I'm going to pick that up, and then these blocks go together, and I'm picking my triangle up from the other end. I hope you could see what I did there, that my backside wasn't in your way. So we're going to do that second row. I'll get the layout. I think I'll get the layout. I moved it. Huh. I did. Okay. So what we just did was this corner here. Okay. Now I'm working on this row right here, which is also this row right here. I'm going to turn it upside down so you can see. This row here is exactly the same as this row here. So I'm just going to stitch 2 of them at a time again, and then I'm going to move on to the next one, pulling a big triangle and those squares and putting a triangle at the other end. It makes it easier for me to lay it back on the floor, because that way I know I got my angles, my triangles sewn on correctly, because I've done that too, where I've not sewn them on correctly, and that's not pretty either. So yes, we'd be spending a lot of time with Jack about now. All right, so that first block I'm going to lay out here on my sewing machine. I'm going to turn it a little bit more so you can see my sewing machine. This is the first block there. I'm going to lay it on the sewing machine, and then I'm going to grab one of the big triangles, and I'm actually going to check myself as to which way I need to put that triangle. Okay, so it lays like that. Actually lays like that. And this triangle needs to go like that. So I'm just going to put it on there. Sewing from that 90 degree one more time. And then I'll trim off that little point at the end to make it easier later. How you doing out there? You getting it cut? Take your time. Okay, I wanted to show this to you before I clipped off those dog ears. You can see that the points are hanging off each side. Oops, you can't see that. There it is. So I just take a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors and I clip that off. This one didn't meet actually perfect. So, yes, I'm not perfect. So I'm actually going to take this part to the cutting table, and I'm going to make sure that I still have my 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to trim that off straight. But not right now. I'm just laying it on the cutting table. And I'm going to sew, actually, I'm going to sew the other end. So remember, up these blocks with the 2 triangles. So I'm actually going to sew this in right now, and then I'll put that guy in the middle. I'm going to make these are laying out, and then I'm going to lay that other guy in the middle. This goes on the other side. So it goes like that. Double and triple check, yes. Okay. first one that came off. You can see how this is going to be the side of my quilt, and it's set on point. Did I do that backwards? Don't tell anyone, it's on the wrong side. Can I use it on the opposite end? Can. So let's see this one. That's embarrassing. I just did them both backwards. How's that for embarrassing? It's okay. As long as you do them both backwards, you'll be fine, because then they'll both be right. In the end, I believe these need to have the same angle, and they do. When you lay it straight and you look at this angle, okay, this angle's pointing from the window to the sewing machine with this on this side. We want the same thing here, okay, with this here. This starts at the window and points to the wall. So that's exactly what we want. We want those angles to go and have the same lay on both sides. That doesn't make sense, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, let's put that guy in the middle. Let's make sure we get him straight. Because this one is an arrow, it needs to lay a particular way. Showing you this side. This is hard to do. That one right there, okay. They need to be at a certain layout, so they all point away. They all point away from the center. Okay, so I need to make sure this is laid out properly. This one goes this way. So this guy, I'll do it from the other side as if I'm right-handed. So this is going to lay on the side. I'm going to put this in the middle, and then this is the one that ends up as the top. Okay, if I'm not watching and you say something, don't hesitate to say it again if I miss you, because I'm not looking at the screen all the time. Okay, put a leader in. Stitch this on here, making sure my top and bottom line up okay. This one actually is made as a 9 patch, so you should be able to nest your seams very easily. So let's do this. So you can see this. And I can explain those 9 things. Okay, we sewed that together as a 9 pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we did this as a 9 patch, 3 at the top, 3 in the middle, and 3 on the bottom, so that we can meet those 2 center seams up. Some pretty perfect points in there. So this is what we have now, and we're going to stitch that other side on. But for now, I'm going to lay this down back up there so you can see what I've done. My chair's in the way, so I'm going to try to scoot it closer and move it out of the way. There, you can see now. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to show you both ways. Okay, so now you can see that that top corner is going to be done when I put those two together. And I'm just going to keep going down from the top. This is hard to figure it out. Top, next row, next row, next row, and then these rows down here. But I'm actually going to do them mirror image, and then I just meet in the middle. When we go to stitch these rows together, I can show you that. Grabbing that first and second row. Remember, this part of your triangle becomes that. Remember, it's laying like this in the corner. So this part of your triangle here becomes what we stitch to the next block. And this is going to carry on that angle. So this is going to be sewn right on like that. That is so confusing. That is so confusing, but it works. I promise you it works. And then when you go down through here, your blocks, you should be able to nest the seams of your blocks right back up. Even nesting your, actually this one won't get nested this way because remember we have a flying geese unit in the center. So there's nothing to match on these except the corner, the next block when you get that far. Okay, so stitch away. I'm going to let Henry in. Fine boy. Okay, I'm going to keep stitching. You keep cutting, you stitch. If you need anything, I'm right here. And I think maybe we'll stop this live in a couple more minutes because you seem to not be having an issue at all. So we'll cut off the live after I finish this a little bit here. And then I might do one last video, maybe tomorrow sometime. Or maybe we'll do a link up or something. That would be fun. And then we can see everybody's finished products. That'll be so much fun. Stitching through. Nesting those seams. Seems to be very easy so far. Okay, and this one's done. I'll be back that way. This one's done, so I'm actually going to stitch this corner on, and then I'll love and leave you so that you can do sewing without having to listen to me ramble in the background. Okay, so this is row 2. I'm going to sew that big triangle on the top. Remember the triangle that we sewed sides and the top to. Remembering that that triangle goes off the edge we will nest our block seam. Stitch. Nesting the seams. Trying to see, you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Nesting those seams. It's pretty hot in my sewing room right now. Nesting the seams on the other side. And I'll be done in just a second, and I can show you this entire top corner. Need to cut this little corner off. Get that straight sewing and not have to go through the machine like that. Okay, voila! Check that out. I'm gonna back up. And we have the top corner done. And then we just carry on, just like we did with this row, row 2. We just keep carrying on. Then row 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have 4 rows from the top and 4 rows from the bottom, and you meet in the middle, and then that's it. So easy to put together. I just wanted to show you one of my testers who sewed it with me. She lives over here on my side of the world, and we basically worked on this together. She sent me a picture. Dark background. I'm just going to bring in my computer screen so you can see it. There we go. I'm going to show you mine, and I'm going to put hers right beside it. See? Scoot that over, make it bigger if I can. I actually can't, so you'll get the picture anyway. And then I'm going to point some things out to you. Okay, that one's mine. This one's the dark version. And I just think that it makes these hearts pop out in the corners, and just, it makes the stars just twinkle in the sky. And I absolutely love, love, love the dark version. So amazing. That's Marie's version. And that's my version. Actually, my picture is a little bit bigger than hers, and you can see it on both screens. Huh. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I'm going to keep stitching away, so I am going to be on my computer or at my computer for quite a while. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to personal message me, or if you don't need answered right away. If you need answered right away, personal message is the fastest way. If you don't need an answer right away, you can put it in the discussion on Facebook. Pretty sure you might be able to even comment below here on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I will keep checking that as well. So I'm loving this quilt. I can't wait to get it finished, and I can't wait to share with you. So thank you. Get back to it, Teresa. Yes, and thank you, Kim. Have a fantastic New Year's. Those of you who are still on New Year's Eve, have a fantastic rest of your night and an amazing day tomorrow, and have a very stitchy, happy new year.